All right, we are recording as of right now. Now I am going to do the regular thing, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Forex Factory and the week ahead of us, and the ETFs. I don't think we have too much for earnings as either. So, all right, so we're gonna kick off this week with some nice data. Again, oh wow, okay, I can just did not open. Hold on. There we go. So anyway, we've got flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI, and then Tuesday, CB consumer confidence. Wednesday, flat with some light sales or home new wholesale data, which that one has its purpose. I like to pay attention to that one here and there. So Thursday, final GDP quarter over quarter, and unemployment claims durable good orders and core durable good orders. Final GDP price index coming in on Thursday before the bell. So that might be a money-making opportunity, especially if the beginning of the week does not break range, I suspect the end of the week will. So we're moving into an environment that might make for some pretty nice volatility. A rise in volatility, if you will. Oh, that hurt. Okay, don't move. Yep, there we go. All right. I got to sit like a mummy. Friday core PCE prices, whatever. I don't really pay attention to that one. So, all right, now moving to earnings. And it looks like, okay, so we can write this down. You can write this down because it's going to be a short list. All right. Oh. I bought this expensive desk, and the only thing I wish it had is a drawer. I miss a good desk drawer. So I'm going to write these on my calendar. So right off the bat, I don't know what Red Cat is or AAR. If anybody wants to chart those, this is something I used to do a lot more of. I could go and check those out. But off the bat, right, we're going to have AutoZone on Tuesday. That one, we'll take a look at the chart and see if it says anything, and again, that's going to come first, and then KBH, KBH, and Stitch Fix. I don't know if that one has the same reputation that it used to, but that one used to make a lot of money. Wednesday, obviously CTAS might be one to watch. MU, and then maybe Jeffries, but other than that, CarMax coming in on Thursday. I'm writing this down. So CarMax, Costco, maybe BlackBerry. I shouldn't write that down. Fuck that. All right, Scholastic has a stock. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that was in existence. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, that's a big no for me, dog. Although it does look like it's going to dump, but nope. All right, so we'll do the ETFs really quickly. Take a look at them on the weekly first, right? Get rid of all this. Now, where are we? Who are we? What is any of this? I don't know. First thing that I see, right, is the wicks. Right, see the tap, tap, tap. So clearly, this has been and is a formidable-ish resistance. Now, I want you guys to look at this and ask yourself, does it make sense? Does it clear? Probably not, right? Well, clear in the sense where we have, I guess that's usually the question we want to ask ourselves when we look at these charts is, what is clear? That and that. Both of those. And wow, that if circles are an example of who I am, dude. Jesus Christ. Anyway, those two taps right off the top. So if anything, right, this could be possible rejection. And that's what I like to do when I'm on the weekly going into that week is answer questions as well, right? So point out the obvious, answer some questions, right? This is either us moving higher, or this is definitely a possible area where we could see a rejection. So this is one of those, we could call that an area of indecision, and then we're going to go ahead and move down. Okay, so on the Q, why is there a gap? Oh, did that actually gap up like that? And leave that gap on the 24-hour? Wondering if, no, okay, so I don't really see any other gaps. No, I do see gaps. Why do I see gaps? Ugh. No, that's still not doing it. Does yours look like that? Okay, hold on one second. I need to go and I have this updating on a yearly basis. No, I definitely have it. Hold on, let's see. Billing. Give me 1 second, folks. Oh, fuck, time's up. Sorry. Account and billing. Why do I have so many fucking coins? Who gave me those? Okay, I got that data. Get. Whatever. All right. Sorry, guys. Probably should have changed my card. All right. I think we're good to go. Cool. All right, well, I don't know. I think that might be, you have a gap? Okay, so we'll just, I'm not used to seeing gaps like that. Okay, so, well, and if this is one thing that draws my attention, and this is also, God, it gets beautiful here, right? 24-hour. Floor is clear. Ceiling, right, in terms of candle closes, I'm going to bring this down on the 24-hour, right? So right now, and then the most recent price action, it looks like it's 483 that we need to open up above, but we'll still keep that 484. If you guys don't remember that price target from last week, 484.60 would be that wall to access the 490 empty space. Jesus Christ, Mr. 5 cent there, trying to send me to hell. He's sending me prescriptions in the chat. I ain't doing that. So the target this week, if we are to move to the upside, since we don't have a clear signal other than being up against resistance, is 491. So now to the downside, we have a clear floor at 478. So let's go to the 4-hour. Now, I still think that this is, I still think it's real. I still think this is definitely reality, right? That being said, we have a little small gap down there, right? It's going to be a tight window to fill. As far as boxes, this becomes very clear. Right? We can identify the candle closes on both sides of that. So there any retest, right, happening underneath that low of 478.50 would allot for a gap fill retest of the box at 475.69. Anything underneath that, and we're looking at a bearish week. Now, another thing I want to make really, really, really clear here. Anything like this, and you're going to have a hard time. Especially those of you who are not very good at scalping. Do we need a double stream here? How many people are in here? More than 50, okay. Jorge's in here? That's crazy. He gets scared sometimes. All right. Let's pull up. Yep. What was that? I'm pretty sure that was me too. That sounded like an angel. Okay. Well, that was a... All right, anyway. So we've got the 480, and I think this is something that I can go ahead and clearly state. All right, I am bullish, so we'll just put, fuck that, we'll just put it right here, bullish above, right? Probably shouldn't leave that in red. I like that the 4 hour shows me exactly where we need to open up above. Multiple touches, excuse me, of that 484.36. Roger? So let's go over here and click that. There we go. Okay, so for me, my signals are here. Pink works too, but so short, right? Now I will say, any candle opening underneath this, and you could start a short, right? But obviously means that if it bounces at cost basis or flushes very quickly to cost basis, you're going to expect a retest, and that's something I'm pretty proud of a lot of you guys for making that adjustment for empty space, or understanding rather how we fall, right? It's going to dictate typically what happens after that. Big price movements wrap in volume, right? And then typically they like to rip that the other way. So, but that's it. Now, lower time frame stuff, this is obviously ours to map out. We have a clear top. We have a clear bottom. And then we're going to zoom in, right? Because there's more clues. Now, what do we see here? Double wicks off of 483.72. So what do we think happens above that? This. Does that mean that we've punched back or broken anything? No. What can that mean? Rip fast? Then everybody's talking about a double top. But that's also in the realm of possibilities. So my mission, or my statement here is, and this is always a beautiful thing, if we're in here, right, if we're in this range, trading conditions are going to be difficult, right? If you're going to get into trades, use structure. That's going to be your best friend. Look at the 15 as you move down. All right, cool. Is everybody cool on that one? Let's take a look at SPY, and then I'll go ahead and have you guys drop your request in live trading chat if you don't mind. Oof. That one hurt. All-time highs, folks. Now, after every all-time high, there's always a dump. No, I'm just kidding. That is a joke. But we obviously have seen weeks where you'll build a box, pop out, make a new high, and then we retrace, right? We don't have to worry about when and where. We're just reacting to the level, right? Well, I guess that is where. So 462 or 562 is going to be the top of our weekly box underneath us, meaning that anything underneath that, and yeah, I'm probably going to go short. Now, what would be the reasoning behind that? Because of the empty space sections, right? So it's an ugly box, but it's a box down there. I can feel it. So I would assume, right, that moving down here, and let me go to the 4 hour. I think this will be a little bit more insightful. There we are. So there it is. This is the current setup. Now, I'll be obviously breakdown, retest, all good. Oof, and look, we zoom in even more, and you start to see even more signals. So this would be, in my opinion, considered a formidable retest level, meaning that if 461 candle close 4 hour breaks, and we have just this little stuff in here. So let me highlight the ranges where I think I see the most opportunity to make money. In here and in here. Those are going to be kind of like the highlight ranges for SPY. So use those context clues on a lower time frame, right? Look at these bounce floors. Look at 559.22. There's nothing holding you up underneath that. That's a short down to the floor. 554. How it dumps is going to dictate whether or not, if you have this week's so this is probably pretty good insight for those of you guys who like those lower time frame contracts, or lower time frame contracts. That's where, if you dump fast, you're going to have to make that decision, right? This is real time problem solving. You're going to have to go ahead and say, all right, if this dumps and it just is fucking flushing, then you can expect a bounce. And it'd probably be a good idea to get your profits off the table and leave some type of runners and maybe even play the bounce. But other than that, guys, both ETFs, again, SPY sitting up at the highs, trying to build with, nice structure underneath it. The Qs, which have, all right, lagging, obviously, on the all-time high, but do have empty space above it. This is obviously going to be an interesting week because we're at the wall with empty space and triggers to lead us down. All right, so the first request that I have right here is Snap. Now, I've gotten a lot of requests for Snap, and one of my main issues with Snap is I like NVIDIA. Now, why? It moves fast. When it's time to move and there's empty space, it moves fast. Why don't I like Snap? Snap just likes to move when it has news, right? Or it's grinding up. Obviously, technicals are technicals. That's a punchback. It's going to do what it does. But it took you from the break of cost basis 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Again, not the worst. But if we're going from $9.40 to $10, it's not my favorite. Now, I think the only way to trade this up to the fucking 1275 floor is probably to go long. Now, in terms of, are we getting that signal? I see a wick off of that 1025 floor on the 24-hour. On the weekly, this is going to change ever so slightly. So if the Qs do break that third wall, right, then we could see a 1050 tap, and that would make total sense. But at the end of the day, this is one where news is going to, it's not, I guess the good thing about this, if you do go long, the risk to reward is definitely going to be low. Looking at how fast it does rip out of its bases, I would say if you're out 2 months and you're in the $14 to $15 strike aiming for here, it does take off. Again, news is typically the reason, which is why it is so hard to catch. All right, crowd. Oh, yeah, okay, crowd. Weekly, you are not quite at that weekly gap fill, but just right underneath it. Now, the first green candle over here is that gap fill, which should be around 307. And that's going to be where we want to see a candle close above. Now, I still am skeptical on whether or not that's real, right? And we'll find out. Being above it or right at it, So let's go ahead and map out what's above and below. Okay, so channels. Channel looks good, right? Now again, we can only speculate coming on the downtrend channel for crowd coming off of these two bottoms. I don't really have any context clues up here to really lead me to believe anything else. So at the moment, right, above 306, we'll look at the channel target of 317, which I would assume is right around 50% of the whole dump. And then obviously beyond that, if the market, and I think that's going to be the biggest thing, is if the market is trending up, then you're aiming up to that 368. So let's go to the hourly really quick. I do like this channel in terms of targeting as well. Let's see, where is this? That's 313.70. That's pretty damn close. Okay. So obviously map out, and again, this is a message for everybody who's in anything. If you swung anything, map out where, lower time frame, box, Map out where things need to go and retest. You have empty space down to that, so watch for a test off of 295.60. All right, moving on, we've got Bros. I've got like 70 shares of Bros. Not a lot. Conviction wasn't very high on that one. I still have a position in cart equity. That was a long time ago. Not really, but I think that was only the beginning of the year. So you are, as far as I can see, and again, structure just kind of fails at this level here, except for, that maybe, and that would coincide with a 36.70 and maybe $37 ceiling up above you. But what is it? Oh my God, DJ. Yeah, carts actually. I want to talk about missing your own. Cart's been doing good. Cart's been doing okay. Not mad at my purchase around $24. Feeling good, pretty good. It's reversed. All right, so let's keep moving. Viking Therapeutics. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
There's like nothing to do but just this.
Hey, baby. You're supposed to be going to sleep. That's what you're doing. You don't have to go to sleep. Sleep will come to you. Just lay there.
Yeah, but I have nothing to do.
You don't have anything to do?
Yeah,
Sleeping is what you do.
Just do this.
All right. I'll talk to you in a minute about it. Lay there and think. Have a think. All right. I don't know what she wants me to do there. She's like, count sheep. She's like, there's nothing to do. Go to sleep. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Hold on. All right. So yeah, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. You are outside of the control. Now, in terms of what you're touching and up against, you got a big old block. The floor is right here. You did close up against it. This is obviously a positive sign for now. Okay, so, I mean, it's not my, hold on one second, guys. All right, so we've got a hourly box, and I can just tell you this. That's going to be a pretty reliable break at 72.17. I can't argue that you have empty space, up to like 75. So, all right, moving forward, we've got Dell. Dell. Does anybody have a Dell computer? What do those look like nowadays? I don't even want to draw that channel, to be honest with you. Okay, so I remember drawing this a long time ago. Now, what does Dell have up in front of it? Clearly that wick. The only thing that I can see is that is the 50%, no shit. So that would be the 50, right around the 50% mark is where we're tapping off of in that empty space, because otherwise I really don't see anything. So 24-hour time frame shows, right, that you are both hitting resistance and sitting on top of the floor. Sorry. So anyway, you are sitting on top of your box. Your candles are holding themselves up above it. You do have a remainder empty space up above you, and that candle would be 123.87. 4-hour time frame shows you in a box, but what's underneath? Now we're starting to see, right, some strength from sellers. Small box right around your retest. See that? That's where you broke out from before. You're sitting on top of it. So you could be expecting a 114.50 bounce, and hopefully you can use this box. Remember what I said about tops. It might be disappointing if this comes back down, but you would have a box to break through on the next go around, which I think would be pretty useful. Now, I also see a channel, and I'm not 100%, but when I line it up like this, right, we get a lot of points of contact here. So it's curious, right? And then we look above us on the 4-hour. You've got this. I'm going to assume that 125, yeah, 125 is that lower time frame 4-hour. Empty, it's empty space all the way up to 125.25. So I typically, when I see contradicting, like, oh, the channel is interfering with, get rid of it, right? Because I can't sit there and try and force something. I don't have a clear signal as to where that channel begins or finishes. So, all right, moving on. Shiga. I'm ready. So I had a conversation with myself because I guess I was mentally charting in the chicken coop this weekend, and I thought, like, again, this is one of those setups that it's got the bottom, it's got the bounce, it's got the empty space, and it has the catalyst. It's got everything, and so I'll be damned if this doesn't get a nice chunk of my money. And the only unfortunate thing is that catalyst is earnings, which means that there is a large potential that my cheeks could get clapped, right? Now, I don't go into situations like that without hedges, and I'm going to let you guys know right now, I've afforded myself the risk. I know there's a lot of you who will get tempted, and I battle with myself even discussing this stuff with some ears hearing this. I am in a level, I know a lot of you guys are also at a level where you could afford to put some cash into this, and it has that setup that I'm going to do it. Now, first of all, I think it's good to take reasonable price targets on this trade, right? If it goes to 130 and we're at 110, good, great. But the goal here would be to take something around the 110 mark, knowing that 106 would be the first target. So here's how this plays out in my mind. Earnings goes really well. We fire up, and we are right around here. This wicks out into a little bit of the empty space and gets pulled back in before the market closes at 8 p.m. Following morning, it's gapped up. It's above the 112, and immediately at the bell starts moving towards the 125 and possibly 130 mark. Now, that's a tall order from this motherfucking stock, and if it starts ripping, it could start ripping up into earnings, knowing that it's sitting up at the bottom like this. Now, let's just, because again, this is fun for me, right? This is where the market's fun. It's fun to take the bet, and everything lines up. It's one of those moments, but we have to also think about the fact that MU is on Wednesday, right? So MU fills this empty space, goes to 95, right? That changes the dynamic. If it's above, and where it is on earnings will also dictate, do I trim some of these off if they're up on IV? How am I going to be doing this? But if this was to move up into a resistance, then the probability of coming right back down is there. Right, and that's where we're going to go back out to the weekly, and we're going to look at some of those probable targets. Now, hopefully, if anybody asks, what did Garrett say about MU? refer them to this video. It'll be on YouTube. Those of you guys who are watching in the future, use good risk. So now everything lines up, right? We're at cost basis on the weekly. We're in what could be a box. That's the only other alternative that I see right now. But it still gives us a target of right around that 107 mark. Now again, the empty space on the weekly ends right at that 130 that I'm trying to get on the 24-hour, so it all aligns. So I like what I've set up for the upside, but the downside, this is where I would be targeting. Why? I'll answer that. Gap. You see the gap right there at $75? So for MU, does this make sense to everybody? Sometimes I feel like I'm just rambling. Sometimes the pain pills, okay. Hopefully I've convinced you not to take this. All right. So people are calling their brokers right now to put in orders for the Monday. So 75. Okay, the straddle's going to look like, and again, I have to, well, fuck it. I guess I can, I don't have my shit pulled up right now. I'll just use my phone. Forgot my password. What the fuck? Ah, there we go. Okay, so let's take a look at MU, because I imagine the IV's touching a little bit. Yeah, IV's touching a little bit. So, as of right now, and we'll see how this goes on Monday, but the contracts on the 110s they got a weird spread at the close, but it was like basically, we'll call that $45, right? So average 45, that's where I'd probably place my limit. And then now this is on Wednesday, so we'll have Thursday and Friday. So it's still something I feel comfortable taking then, or holding for this week. All right, so 75s are only 20, we're going to call that 27 cents, right? Now, again, I repeat it every single time I give out any of these plays, because unfortunately that's still what I'm doing. This is extremely risky, of course, because at the end of the day, the set now, I always come more confident in my setup, and there's not a sense of wondering for me. I just need that volume to come in, and obviously I don't know what the result of the earnings play is going to be. That's where the risk is. The worst case scenario here for me is it doesn't move at all. If this doesn't move at all, I'm cooked on both sides. Protection does nothing, and I'm just a sad boy. But I'm going to do it. So, and again, this is just an area where the chart, the earnings, the empty space looks good. Obviously, it's just earnings that throws a little bit of a wrench in the system. If this was, if NVIDIA had earnings, on that day, I'd feel much better about taking this. Now, I'd probably take next week's and not this week's, but anyway, MU looks good to me. And it's probably going to, I think there's a lot of money to be made on this if we play our cards right. I think these three candles get engulfed by one. I could just see it. At the same time, right, there's a gap down there at 75. I can also see a fucking fat ready right here. So, all right, anyway, moving on from MU, EMR. I could see that as a real possibility. In a year, 6 months. I thought about trading with the Office episodes playing in the back sometimes, but it'd be really distracting. So let's go ahead and come to a conclusion, okay? I had a joke right there, but I'm going to keep it inside. All right. 106. Did we close over it? No. We wicked it and we pulled back. Now, did we dump? Nope. This is an unusual setup because obviously we had a box, we popped out a box, and right, this box looked like this. Now, I think with this, leaving the empty space, right, we kind of throw that motherfucker away. Delicious. I fucking love that. I'm not gonna lie, I just looked out of the corner of my eye and that picture of Dwight looked like my mugshot. Got scared. All right, so while this is not a incredibly clean 24-hour, I mean it is, in some ways, but this is really the highlight, right? And this is really where the money is at. So that would be 108.64 as a first target, and then empty space 112.50 and 113.50. Now, if there's remaining space, then we'll fill that later, or obviously we'll look at that later. So, do you need cough medicine? Okay. I'll come to you. Okay. All right. 1 second. I apologize, guys. All right. Sorry about that. Dad stuff. All right. Oh, damn. I'm old. All right. What's next? All right, what was the next one? MU, EMR. Oh, I thought that said he. Helen of Troy. What the fuck is that? Okay, so how do you leave empty space? So empty space, giant fucking rip, right? But you left a lot up here, so it's not always guaranteed. So that's a lot to ask for. Is it worth taking a risk on? I'm sure it is. What do they do? Defend Troy? I don't know. Okay, so here's the diagnosis. Your floor is here, right? And it looks like where resistance is starting to be found. Now you're bundled up, so you're doing well as you approach that resistance. And now I'm I'm unattracted. It's like the lights just came on at the bar. Sorry. Anyway, got myself on that one. 60 to 41 is that first target directly up above you. And then obviously 63.75. So now that's where breakpoint happens, and I don't know if this thing gets news or something. I don't know what sends this into the stratosphere like it has before, but that is a metric shit ton of space. So I'm sure, maybe even equity might be, or long dated options. It's definitely not something I'd be sitting and staring at the chart all the time. But all right, Li Auto, the bastard of the fucking EV world. Now that is undeniable. While its volume is hot due to garbage, right? And there is a gap. God damn. So what's the risk to reward here? We've got $22 to $24.80. Fuck it, I'll take it. So right now, Li Auto, MU, Li Auto being something, right, I'm going to try and get a good entry on and then let it go. It's probably something that happens, in the night. But it is coming out of the base. It is up against the wall for the third time. It does have empty space on the weekly up to 24.72, or a gap, however you want to word that. Floor 23.90, and green candle is at 24.50. That's the first immediate play. That's where I would be looking. Now, on a lower time frame, seems like Wiki is getting sticky. Bad wordage. But that is $22, right? So some lower time frame setup is going to help us obviously get into that. You're hanging weird up right now. Yeah, lower time frame channel looks a bit like that. And is a part of that. So breaking out of that is essential. That's definitely one where I feel like it would be best if the price was right up against that mark and it was at the end of the day. That would be my dream trade on that one. All right, let's do ELF. ELF has not been doing my makeup lately, dude. It's been hurting me. Still one of the best investments I ever made, though. Now I got high hopes for this one, as it is leaving behind what I need, and that's that empty space. It's got a good potential with a channel here. And is also fighting with that. So overhead pressure is pretty strong. You can see that by the wicks, which means they have to do their job. I would be watching ELF on a breakdown below 109 and recovery of that. And then you have to go to the lower time frame to start looking at where you need a 24-hour candle to open, and that'll be right at 118.40. And then you can go ahead and pop out. I need that. I hate playing the options on that thing, though. That's actually one of the main reasons that I ended up. I was like, yo, as far as equity is concerned, this thing's, probably something good to hold long, but also the option contracts are just dog water. Old Donnie, how we doing here, Donnie? Don the Loud. Not good. This thing's pulling a Trump stakes. All right, so this thing looks like it's. Wait till Kamala gets a ticker. I'm gonna roast her ass too. 1232, right? 1232. That would be the floor underneath us. Now, as far as technicals, a lot of that shit. Technicals and mechanics don't go out the window because obviously, boxes are still boxing, and we're at the floor with a small floor underneath us at 1295. So I mean, I really just One, I just don't think I would ever touch this thing, in a million years. It's so Oh, Lord. Yeah, Donnie's not getting a touch from me. But here's how I would, if I had to, at gunpoint, play this. I'd be looking for my floor, which is 1605. Cost basis, perfect, $18. And then I'd be trying to trade that up for some sort of squeeze, which is really where that third tap should come in. And I imagine, you probably see a 3450 price target on that. Peter, I'm going to pick from one of those here. CEG. All right, so my brother in Crossed. I typically, I have to have very, very, very good reason to short something that is ripped up like this. Now, coming off of earnings or some type of news, a lot of the times this will call for a retracement because you ripped really fast. And I imagine that's the case here, which means that everything that you are looking to accomplish, because I do nothing without a signal, right? I am a signal taker. The market signals, I take. And so that signal doesn't happen until this breaks, right? And that's going to be underneath 252.85. 250.17 is your floor, and you have empty space to the wick at 244.18, and the candle closed at 241. And that's how you'd be able to play that. Now it does have empty space. That's all good. Oof, fuck. Sorry, back spasm. Give me my back back. There might be some channeling happening there, but otherwise, that motherfucker's going up. So I would be careful. And I'll take a quick gander at those other two really quick. So yeah, I feel like you might be going against the grain here, man. That one even is coming out of a base and has empty space above it. So I don't want to deter you from, taking something that you see, but I want you to see that there is also a direct attempt to be shorting things, and I get the theory there, but to short things that are moving up. So while that's fine, not my cup of tea, it has to be done on a lower time frame, which is what? More difficult. So money first. All right. Hold on a second. Oh, well, that would explain why there's so much background noise. Sorry about that, YouTube. Yep, there. Now Crisp is on. All right. So, let's see. Helen was the reason for war. Oh, yeah. Justin, MU, very good. Uppies. I was just kidding. So right now I have a straddle planned out for 110 calls and $75 puts. But I'll go over that in a second. Pete, got you. I just obviously, I want to see you catch a fat leg up. Honestly, my favorite trade is up. I like up because the way that we move through empty space. Down just requires a whole shift in mental. And so, right now with the market bubbling the way it is, there's room to, yeah, potentially look at shorts. But again, any time that you rip like that, you have to go with lower time frame stuff, and that's just where it gets a little bit more in depth. All right. Let's see here. All right, so this one has to be talked about because it is a stock that I have interest in, and if I'm interested in MU, right, it would obviously seem only apropos for me to be looking at SMCI, as there is a fuck ton of money to be made on this trade. Not just because it has a good empty space, but because the contracts are ludicrous. This is also how, our boy pulled off that $250,000 trade, is SNCI pays. Now, that's why it's been on the watch list. It has good reason to be on the watch list. Everything is perfect, right? Now, what are some things that we don't like? We don't like being up against resistance and having expended over, I think, 6 days of choppage. So what would be a sign to be going up? Obviously, a candle open means the bottom of the candle on Monday morning when you wake up should be above that mark, right? Now you set alert on that, and as soon as that market opens, not 9:30 but 4 o'clock, you're going to wake up to an alert, right? Or, well, yeah, just make sure you go and look first. Now from there's some lower time frame issues. Obviously, there's a giant motherfucking wick coming off of 495, 494. We have to take this into consideration. And then another thing is, and I did discuss this last week, because on the 24-hour, right, it is kind of like almost like a box in a way. This would be a great time. This would, oh my God, this would be damn near sexual. If we wick specifically out, even maybe go and tap that floor. And I know this would piss a lot of y'all off, but again, the bigger move. Come back down, right? Give me a little choppage, and then send it back up all the way, at least to 560. Now, what would this do? Damn, I didn't mean for that to line up like that. So perfect. So good and juicy. Look at that. Oh my God, hold on. I just fucking bamboozled myself. Oh yeah, I can see, man, fuck it. Might even go up to 488. Now, here's another thing. Am I going to take it above this wall, right? Or above 467? Yep. Why? I don't have any other choice. If there's empty space up above me and I'm trying to go and break it and it goes up and it claims that floor and chops and breaks this channel, I'm going to be sad. I would much rather get into a play that's set up like this and take the trade and then just get out if it does not work. Now, SMCI can be expensive, so that's also something to think about. But I like punching back. I mean, honestly, I'd prefer if we just gap down overnight or something, and just like if we gap down overnight, I have fantasies about setups. That would be fucking sick because then we would move down into our structure and then we'd have a gap to fill, which would make it taking it down at the bottom so much easier. But obviously, I'm looking for a bounce off of this contraption here. So I think there's a lot of potential behind this trade. Does it need some deep frying? Yeah, it does. All right. Tesla. I'm just gonna do it now. 24-hour. Let's look at the weekly first. Look how much of a mess this stock has become. We need to look at it on the monthly. Yeah, they make terrible vehicles, bankrupt, fraud. I heard Elon only got started with the mob. Mm-hmm. I heard they only hire cucks. Well, hold on, I'm on YouTube. I'm sorry. That wasn't worth it. uh, yeah, I heard it. Astro's on fire right now. All right. Is it? I feel like we're hitting 480 or 286. Almost like the queues are set up, right? It's just like this is the overhead wall. We're curling up. I think on the monthly, right, so far, it looks like that's what's on the diagnosis. Now, we can't jump to conclusions without moving up, or the weekly. And I mean, I fucking hate these, right? Because it's just quite literally, you're just, you just have a flat ass wall. So above, or right now, you're looking to go to 250, 650, and then be above it, right? So by the end of the week, this week, we want to be at 250, 650, and then we can start looking at, yeah, that next move up to cost basis, which we are going to look at this first red candle here, which is going to be 286. Oh, fuck, that's what I said on the monthly. So 286.35. Roger? If they don't get caught for fraud beforehand, you know. No, I did Bros. I just was trying to come back around to those. But yeah, I can do that next. So anyway, that's Tesla, and then I mean you can look at the 24-hour, and then that's where signals start signaling. I hate that big wick down there, that big green candle. Just yuck. 4-hour maybe. Ooh, I don't like that. Oh, what was that giggling in that song? That was creepy. Yeah. Oh, could have used some massage lotion today, dude. What the fuck? Every single one of them. Fuck, dude, my back is starting to bite. Ooh, all right. Ah, damn. Oh? Tens? No, I don't know what the fuck that is, dude. Not all the time, but yeah, yeah. I think I heard J. Cole rap about one of those before. Um, I'll have to look that up. Send me a link or something. So right now, 234.62. No shit, really? All right, well, I'll take a look at it. Oh fuck yeah. 234.83. That is underneath you, and that is where you're likely going to go and retest. But I mean, you're locked in the box, so you have to. I mean, and then here's where it gets clear. You know, there. That's all you need. You don't need me. All right. Oh shit. All right. Baba. Almost sworn off Baba, dude. It's almost too hard to predict. Not too hard to predict, but it's just such a pain in the ass. Although on the weekly it is at the fucking cost basis mark and it's hanging out around there. It's got a box underneath. Honestly, I'd love for Baba to like gap down and fill that gap. In the 70s? Oh, I thought you meant I, I thought you were talking about like in the 70s. I was like, dude's fucking having false memories, dude. Got Alzheimer's? Oh yeah, I do. I remember Baba a lot, dude. A lot of really good trades on that motherfucker. Um, this has been a big rejection point for Baba. I mean, that's about where I have to leave it because you're basically sitting. You haven't lost anything notable because if you look at where your candle bottoms are, they line. Look at the retest right there, right? Coming off of that. So 86, 86 is where you're staying above. But honestly, this thing leaves very little context clues for me to go off of other than, we could look at this. And so if you stay sideways, right, start aiming for the 95s. That one, again, I'm not going to try and pretend like it's just an easy chart. It is not. Airbnb. I'm glad you guys caught that last week. A lot of you guys seemed like you hit like a couple thousand percenters on that thing. So great job on that one. That was a pretty straightforward. Yeah, damn. I just remembered us doing analysis on it in this box. So you are up against those wicks. I don't know what's going on with my voice right now. Um, come back. Let's look at the weekly really quick. I figured it was going to happen one day. I still can't grow a beard. It's pretty. Apparently, it's low testosterone. You know. I mean, shut up. Shut up. Oh, good. They can't hear you on YouTube. 131.60, right? That is on the weekly 24-hour. You're up against those wicks there. We don't really have any other context clues. And now we're at the 4-hour. The 4-hour, we're going to have to go with every first green candle we see. That candle is at 134.66. That'll be the next target. Now, what's underneath you? This isn't super clear. Oof, that makes it worse. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it at this, right? That red candle. Look at this. I love this. I love my job. It's so awesome to give analysis. I get it. I like giving analysis because I don't have to fucking make it shit up. Yeah, the EMA is. I'm sorry. Anyway, one little shit talk there. 130.50. I might have to rest. 130.50, and then I mean at the moment you're on your way. So I mean I would assume you might even gap and go and tap that thing. So I agree. Gap downs always make taking it at the bottom easier. Oh yeah, I love gaps. Gaps for that reason, especially if it goes into the setup that we already see. It's like, delicious. All right, symbiotic, Simba. All right, so I can see why you're looking at this. Damn, dude, you suck. That's because you. That's because you just hurt me, dude. You just hurt my feelings. You're talking about my puberty, dude. No. All right. So difficult, right? Definitely not going to be the easiest chart. Now it's easy in terms of where you want to go, right? You got empty space up to that floor of 3144 and then beyond all the way up to 3586. As of right now, the previous floor that you just broke from, you are sitting on top of. So I'm sure as we move down, we're going to see that. Ah, there it is, right? You're building on box. Empty space, retest level, $23 underneath you. So underneath $23, you see that little pocket right there. If that breaks, you're gonna hit the floor. Otherwise, what are you hitting, right? Let's go here. Now we can see why we are not going up. So our catalyst or our trigger is, and again, here comes the psychological number of 2750, dead center. And that's where I would be looking for my next leg up. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm having to scroll up. I'll ring your dinger. Okay. Oh, look at this. Look, my keyboard lets me do this now. Damn, that's oh, really? Oh, because Sim? That's fucking wild, dude. I thought didn't I just do Sim? No, I didn't. Oh my God, dude. What the fuck has Zim been doing? This is not what it looked like the last time I saw this thing. I think we were like here. Jesus Christ. Holy shit tension. All right, well, I'll write that one down. Can't not do that. Hold on one second. Okay. I just wanted to see that chart. Okay, so I mean, I don't think I need to explain the range, right? That's literally like a robot. I honestly could show people what a box looks like by fucking. That is, yeah, that's everything. I mean, yeah, that's the root of all boxes. And here's what's above. And I mean, obviously trading inside of this range and looking at the waves, you know, you're just waiting. Now you're coming off of this floor, and that's obviously now putting the tension that's inside of this thing at a ridiculous amount. Now here's what I'd be looking for as I move down into a lower time frame, right? I'm starting to look for little context clues like this. So what do we need to reclaim up above us? 2090. What do we need to break? 2160. Ow. Oh, I just leaned back in my chair. Bad idea. Fuck. Okay. I had to literally just pull myself up with my desk. I got stuck on the couch today. I legitimately, Peyton, she couldn't hear me calling her. I felt like I need a life alert. All right. Well, that seems like that's about it. I think Sim was for you. Okay, cool. Um, I think that's about it. So from what I pulled from the list this week, and Zim's going to be a cooker, but like for the immediate, like this is what I see for now. Looks like semiconductors kind of have a good setup, right? So let's look at AMD. Okay. Do you see what I mean? So let's look at our competitors, right? SMCI with a pretty gnarly setup. MU with a ridiculous setup. AMD setup. NVIDIA doesn't give a shit about anybody but itself. That thing looks wicked. Holy shit. But I tell you what, if it builds in this box, it's gonna shoot up pretty good. All right. SDX. Yeah, any last requests, folks? I'm feeling the pain here, so I'm about to retire. I'm hurting. Oh yeah, I missed that. Sorry. STX Seagate Technologies. I don't see anything on the weekly. Uh, Here's what I see here. You're flat there. You don't have a box above you. Well, you did. Yeah. Not relevant anymore, though. Okay, so I mean, honestly, dude, this it sucks when the chart looks like this, but it's just like either you're looking here, yep, and that's exactly what I would do. 4 hour gap at 109.45 and empty space beyond that. So above Friday's high, try and shoot your shot up there. All right, Allie. This one, again, it's not the NVIDIAs, it's not the MUs, it's not going to have this, it does its thing, but it's not going to have the exact same kind of volume. And here's what was important to me last week. Importance lied on being above 33.28. Then it moved down to the 24-hour, right? And we have to go and see what are we fighting to recover. So we have these wicks sitting right here, but the body candle closes are right around there. And that's $35 whole. So what do we think we need to recover, guys? $35. We got two red candles up against $35. So what does that look like here? Looks like a bunch of low fucking volume. But let's go ahead and map out what we got here. So what can we go ahead and state definitively about Alley? Is this a day trading stock? Probably not. Is it a swing trading stock? I don't see it any other way. Right? If you took this trade right here and you had that week's contracts, you would have gotten a big trade here that if you held any longer, right, and it didn't go in the money, you would have gotten burned. So having contracts that can deal with this type of price action is good. So I think with Ali, I don't think we are able to see what it's going to become, but I think that's it. I think it's going to channel out. Like that. And I think, oof, damn, I didn't even mean to do this. That would be my next target. So 35.50. Go lay like this and help the back unlock. I didn't lock it. I don't have a chastity belt on, dude. No, I'm just kidding. I will. I can't remember what film I saw with that shit. I remember when I was a kid. Oh, yeah. So I actually charted this one because I didn't know whether I was going to be on. I literally stopped charting because I couldn't sit anymore. Um, but this is honestly, I'm going to write it down just because. I mean, it is kind of in that semiconductor thing. It's not wholly there, but anyway, the target on this one, if we're able to go and move up, is clearly that 24.35. Okay, so that's the price target. The difficult part of this is as you move down, it starts to lose that setup in a way, right? Where we can see that the previous resistance right here is what we got pulled back underneath. So we almost have to do this. Oh, I saw that, Alex. That shit scared the fuck out of me. Fuck that, dude. I'll stay broken. I ain't doing that. Fuck that, dude. One wrong pull, dude. You're toasted. Yeah, if you get the ring dinger, dude, you will. What is this? Oh, Lord. That's crazy. Yeah, this one. No, it's Astro. I got you, you little shit. That's me talking. That is not you talking. My God. uh, you guys are gonna hate the now. Mm, wow. Okay, somebody's got their own soundboard of me. All right, it's war. It's war. That's crazy. Is there like a separate? Where is this? I don't have access to this server. So funny, dude. Put me a coach. Where did this come from? Hi, is that you? You little shit? Oh my God. I'm gonna find your Discord and I'm gonna destroy it. Oh. No, I'm not. Damn, bro. That Jorge, the Jorge is just hilarious. Puvia. Huh? Let me hear that one again. That's amazing. Yeah. What's yeah, play that one again. I want to hear the Jorge one more time. All right. Yeah. Yeah. See ya. INTC short under 2167. Hopefully you can bounce and pop up and then try and break out from there. But this is going to be a little bit of a tough one. I do think that you can rest assured 2283 is where we go long. So that's a ring dinger. I'm going to have Peyton do this to me tonight. Hating ass day trader Potter Stocks is killed by his own fiance. I was kidding. As she rips his fucking head off. Holy shit. If you guys are on YouTube watching this later, they're posting videos of a massage technique where they called the ring dinger. So I don't have them. They can't. Well, yeah, it's a chiropractic thing. All right, folks. I think that's about it. In XPI. Yeah, my back's starting to scream. That one, oof, that 24-hour. I'll check it out, man. I mean, we'll see how I feel though over the next couple days. Okay, so you got a clear cost basis right there. You can see the wicks coming off of it, 238.62. That's separating you from the top half of this break or this box, and obviously where you could potentially leg up and out at 256.50. So I would be looking at the floor above you at 263.50. Yeah, I mean I'll be honest with you, that one doesn't really scream clarity to me. If anything, it almost seems like if the pressure is going to keep pushing you down, you'll end up at 212. So approach Intel about to take over the race today. So it's dude, honestly, if that okay, so in between the time where they talk about it and then it actually happens is going to be volatile. And that's where you try and slip in and find a fucking price and go long. So INTC, if that's really the case, then, you know, and that's where like, yeah, the news could be, you can strategize around the news, but all right. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. I'm at pain max now, so I'm gonna go and redose. But I appreciate you guys posting all those links for snapping my neck off. And listen, I'm gonna say this, and before I go, and I know some of the people who probably should hear this, I'm gonna make a little bit of a change to this Discord because, and I said that I was going to do this a couple weeks ago. I'm seeing progress, and there's still a lot of new folks coming in, so I want this to be an environment where business first, party later, in the mornings. And I'm going to repeat this announcement. In the mornings, we're not going to be using the soundboard and we're not going to be just chatting, all right? Just for the beginning of the day. I really, really want there to be a seriousness, not just because the bell's ringing, right? Because that's not always the biggest deal. But I want this to be the next month, right? No more bullshit. Obviously, if the market, we're done trading, everything slows down, right back to normal, do whatever you want. But I want to focus in. I want you guys to, because I know a lot of you guys held on to your gains last week, like we talked about, and you didn't slide back too far, or took your losses, or you made some gains and new highs. We're gonna hold on to those. And I've been again thinking about this for a while, wondering when the right time was going to be, or if I needed to do this. And it's not that you guys are doing anything wrong. It's just I think we should shift our attitude in the morning, and in the evening. So at the end of the day, and again, I'll repeat this, and you guys make sure this is on YouTube, so everybody's gonna hopefully watch this if you're in the YouTube later on. But I love that we have fun. I want to keep having fun. That's going to keep happening. But we also need to make money, and make sure that that's the priority. So moving into this next week, we're just going to try and really dial it in. All right. Which also is going to adhere to, if you're just kind of spouting off about lower time frame stuff or taking gamble stuff, I want you to try and reel that shit in as well. Because this is this month, right? October, we're going into October, which, this season is notorious for being a little weird. So, and the setups are getting a little weird too themselves. So we're going to really, really dial it in, and I want people to maintain their gains or make new ones. So, all right. Anyway, burp after talking about being serious. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Get some rest. This week, no rush. Okay, we're going to start it off just like we do every single week, just because unless it is absolutely clear in the morning, you've opened outside of range, right? You're up against a wall. You're gapped up. You're gapped down. If that is the case, take your trade. If you're a lower time frame trader and you're scalping and you're doing all that, cool. But I want to lock in. All right. Y'all have a good night. Peace out. Peace. I will. I'm going to go ring ding.